I failed more in my life than I succeeded. Is that the truth? There we go. It is a truth. You're totally right. And why is this important to know? Because, yeah, I might be a business coach and you might think that I have all the answers, but that is not actually how it works. Or you might think that all my businesses are always a success. That is not actually how it works. Because where do we learn most from? From our failings, right? So yeah, I did fail a lot and I learned a lot. And this is what I'm helping my clients with. And this is also where the learnings that we're going to see today are coming from. Turkey is an underrated digital nomad destination. Is that the truth? Or is that a lie? Ah. Most of you think it's a truth, and actually, it is the truth, I think. I agree with you. It is an underrated digital nomad destination. Um, because, yeah, I think the government there doesn't do as great of a job as, for example, in Portugal. And yeah, actually, my co-working space in Antalya is more or less the only real digital nomad hub in Turkey. But the country is amazing. There's so many amazing places to see. And I just want to tell you this because this is where my passion goes in the co-working in Antalya. We have an amazing community there. So I need to bring this up. My business coaching clients are very successful. Is that the truth? What? Or is that a lie? Okay, 50-50. Well, actually, that's a lie. Of course, they're not successful. That's why they need me. And this is the misconception. They might become successful. Actually, some of them, they are already successful when they come to me. It doesn't matter much for business coaching if you want to grow your business, whether you're successful at the moment. There's always room for improvement. I think this is the way that we should look at it. And it's always easier and faster if you have somebody that is holding your hand, that is guiding you, if you want to achieve success or more success, or if you have certain goals for your business. So that's what we're going to talk about as well in a moment. So the last statement: for a beer, I will answer any business or Antalya question. Is that the truth or is that a lie? Of course, it's a truth. So if you want to ask me any question tonight, I'm there at the party. For a beer, cocktail is okay as well. It doesn't matter much. You can always approach me. So I see this presentation a bit as opening the conversation. I don't like so much to be on stage where I am the know-all, tell-all, and where we cannot have a two-way conversation. But that's how it is when you're on the stage. So yeah, I would like to use this. If you think that the talking points that we're going to talk about in the next 20 minutes are useful, I would like you to come to me and we can discuss your business. Yeah, maybe I can change your thinking a bit, and that is already would already be wonderful. So the real game that we're going to play is 4 truths and a lie about growing a remote business. And actually, that remote business part, that's not even so important because this is applicable for any business. So even if you have a brick and mortar business, works as well. First statement for what we're talking about. Your business success is 80% depending on your mindset. Is that the truth? Or is that a lie? Okay, majority thinks it's a truth, and actually, this is the truth. And it's not because I say it's the truth. Of course, I asked ChatGPT what he says about it. And then you know it's the truth because ChatGPT says it's 80%. But you know, those percentages are not so important, of course, but a lot of people in the know who have achieved something in their life with their business, a lot of business coaches, they are actually saying this, that mindset is so important. So whether it's 60, 70, 80, 90%, do we really need to know? No, right? But why is this such an important point? Why do I start with this? Because even this week, what we're talking about on this stage is how to optimize your LinkedIn profile, how to do your branding, how to create a webinar that sells, how to have a high converting website. So there are a lot of tactics that we're using. But in the end, if you don't upgrade your mindset, all of those things are only helping very limited. And I see this with my clients. because some of them, they become successful very quick. They get results very quick. And with others, it takes ages. And in essence, what I'm doing with them is more or less the same. I mean, when I work with clients, I always look at what their requirements are, what their challenges are. So no two paths are the same. But the whole thinking behind it, it comes from me as a coach. I'm guiding them. It is more or less the same. And still, the outcomes are vastly different. And that is because of their mindset. Because some of them, they believe that they can achieve it. They believe that they can achieve something quick. And that makes a difference. If you believe this, or if you believe this is going to be hard, or I paid this Alex to guide me through it, but I'm not so sure if that's going to help. Or I paid this Alex, I'm sure he can help me, but I'm not so sure about myself. This is all mindset. Let me talk about something else when it comes to mindset. Think about it. Think about it. Do you believe in essence in abundance or in scarcity? Do you believe that in your business that there is enough place in the market for you? Do you really believe that? And do you behave like that? Answer that question for yourself. Because many small entrepreneurs, many solopreneurs that I speak to, they hold themselves small. They think of the marketplace as something where there might not be a space for them or not enough to make a decent income. And without knowing each and any of your businesses, I can assure you that there is a place for you. There is more than enough place for you. Because face it, to have a thriving business, how many clients do you really need? There are millions of people out there, and I'm sure even within your target audience, that you only need a few high-paying clients to give you the business that you desire. And this is the mindset that could help you if you believe this. Yet, so many of you are struggling finding the clients, and it starts from thinking there might be not enough for me. Let's go to the next point. Selling is the most important skill as an entrepreneur. Who agrees with that, or who thinks that is the truth? And who thinks that is a lie? It's not the most important skill. Okay, let me see what the answer is. The truth. Yes, selling is. Yet, what are we talking about all the time? Marketing. I also have a background in marketing. But when I started to see the importance of sales, that changed my life. And actually, I started a sales training business to teach others about sales, especially entrepreneurs and solopreneurs. And what helps me a lot nowadays is that I lost my old beliefs about sales. And I know that many of you in the room here have beliefs similar to mine, because my beliefs about sales were not so positive. How are yours? What do you think when you think about sales? Do you think about positive things, or do you think, oh, it's so hard? Oh, I don't want to push them. Oh, it feels like I am begging for the sale. Oh, I don't like doing this. Who recognize this kind of emotions? Yeah, even those of you that are not raising your hand, I know that you have those kind of emotions, because most of us, we have it. But you should overcome it, because sales is not like that. Sales is not begging. Sales is not pushing, at least if you do it in the right way. So what has helped me then, and what is helping my clients? That is again mindset. So how should you think about sales then instead? If it is not selling, pushing, and if it's not begging, and if it's not difficult, and if it's not something that is not nice to do, how should you think about it then? Well, that's up to you. But I give you one suggestion. What helped me a lot is once I learned that selling is helping. Helping. I didn't see it when somebody told me this for the first time. I thought, what a load of crap. How can it be helping? Because I'm taking their money. They are not always positive to me when I try to sell something. But I started to see at some point, I started to see why. because only when you believe that selling is helping, then you can behave in a way that is really helping. So if you're struggling with your sales and with your mindset about selling, then maybe start thinking like this: selling is helping, and start adapt your approach to it. So if you're adapting your approach, what would that mean? Well, for example, when you're talking to somebody in a sales setting, you're not there to pitch. You're not there to pitch. You're not there to push. Just have a conversation with them. Find out what their struggles are. Find out what their problems are. What are their concerns? Have a conversation. Most of you, I've seen it this week, are pretty good in having conversations. And then you help them to make a decision about what the next step is. And yeah, that next step, that may well be that they're going to work with you, that they buy your service, that you make them an offer, but it may also be not. So don't sell to them if you are not the best qualified to help them. Why would you do that? If you come to me tonight and you tell me, well, I was really impressed what you said by mindset. Can you help me change my mindset because I want to change my mindset? I don't know. That might not be the best fit for me. But I'm going to talk with you and I will have a conversation with you. And this is the thing that you should change. So then you're actually helping people. Helping also means really believing that your product or your service is actually helping them. Because that makes a lot of difference. I know whether it is my co-working space in Antalya, I know that if I try to sell that to people, that they will have a fucking amazing time there and that it will be one of the most amazing experience to work from for them. Not because it's the best office in the world, but because of the whole setting of it and the views and the vibes. And I know that. So yeah, I dare to sell that because I know it's going to be good for them. Same for my business coaching. If I talk with somebody and I hear that they are struggling and that they are on the brink of giving up their business ideas, and I feel that there are things that they are not doing yet, that they are forgetting, that they are not aware about, and I know that I can help them, yeah, I'm going to tell them I help them, of course. Am I now a bad salesperson? No, I'm a good salesperson because I'm going to tell them, okay, I can help you. Why don't we do it? What are you afraid of? Is it the money that you need to invest? Okay, let's talk about it. What can happen? What is the worst case scenario? And what is the best outcome? So think about this when you do your sales because, yeah, it's the truth. Selling is the most important skill. If you don't sell, you don't have a business. And then marketing is not social media. Truth or lie? Ah, very well, very well. Well, we don't need to talk long about this then, but I do see when I ask people about their marketing that they always come to me and they start telling about TikTok or Instagram or how they optimize their LinkedIn profile. Hey, I'm doing those things as well. But it is not marketing and it's not the essence of it. It is only one little part. So there are plenty of other things that you can do that is also marketing, but not social media. So for me, what helped myself a lot always is partnerships. So with this sales training business that I used to have, I launched that from nothing in a market where they didn't know me or my partner or our business. We didn't have a product, we didn't have anything. And within the first month, we made over 100,000 euro just with selling some courses about sales. How is that possible? Because of partnerships. That is also marketing. So I approached 100 colleagues in the same market, but they are different products, not the sales training, but they had the same kind of audience. And out of those 100, yeah, most of us didn't know us either, so it was not so easy. Things are not always easy in business, but they are worth pursuing it. Out of those 100, 12 promoted us to their audience. So we did in 1 month 12 webinars, and we made an offer and he said, hey, if this was interesting for you, what you learned in the last hour, you might as well want to take a 5 month course to learn how to sell. Okay, 68 people did that. So we started in our first month with 68 clients that are doing a 4 month program. And it changed our business because just before the launch, we didn't have much money on the bank account. It was a new business. We didn't have an audience. After the launch, we had an email list of 2,500 people. We had 68 clients, and we had 100,000 euro on the bank account. So yeah, then you can start doing social media ads. You can hire a VA. You have a business to start with. So many of my clients also use this strategy. It's just one strategy. There are a lot of other things that you can do as well. I know a friend of me, he started a podcast, but not a podcast once a week or once a month. He did it once a day. Every day he released a podcast episode. And he told himself, I'm going to do this for 100 days. So that's something else on social media, right? If you start your social media account now, you're not going to have much traction. But with his podcast, he grew a lot of traction very quick. So think out of the box. So after those 100 days, he started to see results. So he did another 100 days. And actually, after the 200 days, he did another 100 days. And he agreed with himself to do it. At the moment when he started, he didn't have a business. He didn't even have a product to offer. But he grew his audience so quick that he could basically offer them anything related to his niche. So there are other ways. Think about marketing your business in different ways. It can even be from the stage. So, next slide. AI is coming for you. Oh, we haven't talked about this week, right? Who hasn't heard anything about AI yet? Okay. Who believes that this is the truth? And who believes that this is a lie? Oh, well, 50-50. Actually, it is the truth, but I'm with you. It is a bit more nuanced than this because you can make of it whatever you want. I believe that AI is coming for you if you don't do anything. You know, if you're going to sit still, it's going to be very difficult for you. But if you're going to use it as the tool that it is and that it's supposed to be, it might serve you and you might win this game that we call business. So the way that I look at it is that AI is a tool, in essence. And it will be for a long time. Because yeah, the end game might be that AI is going to make the decisions for us and going to be very creative and more creative than you. But what is going to happen if this whole room here is going to use AI and we're going to use that to set up the same kind of business? Are we going to end up with all the same business? No, right? So it is about the input that you give AI, right? And it is about the decisions that you make along the way. Will there be a time when AI can do anything? Maybe. But will we end up with all the exact same business? No, of course not. So yeah, you are the factor that is going to make a difference. And for that, I suggest to get started with AI now, even though it is maybe not as helpful as you would like. But you've seen on the stage that there are people here in Bansko who are already crushing it with AI. So why not you? Start using it, start experimenting with it. So one last thing I want to say about it, because this is a tool. Look at websites. How long do we have websites? Since when is that? 25, 30 years? Right, about that time. In that time, the thinking about what a good website is for your business, it has changed a lot, right? But by now, after more than 25 years, we know how a high converting website looks. Well, now look at the websites out there from solopreneurs, but even from bigger businesses. Are they all amazing websites? And I tell you, the tools are out there. For 50 euro per month, you can have an amazing website. Yet, half of the website of the solopreneurs or small entrepreneurs that come to me and I look at their website, it is way worse than even the average website out there. So the tools are there, yet we're not employing it. So this is going to be the same with AI. Most people are not going to use it in the right way, and you can. So see it as a tool and use it. Then AI is not coming for you. But you sit still, it's over and out, because others will. Last one. Listen to your intuition for your decisions. Truth or lie? Okay. Well, that surprises me because, yeah, this is a lie. I had to put one lie in, right? It's called Four Truths and a Lie. So this was the fifth statement. So yeah, this is going to be the lie. But I will tell you why as well, because I think a lot of you are going to tell now, like, okay, Alex, so far I was following you, but for this one, I do think my intuition is very important and I use it a lot. Well, exactly. This is how it works. You only need to read the book Thinking Fast and Slow from Daniel Kahneman. How the decision-making process works is that we connect to what we already know, and our brain is capable of making decisions quick. And one way of looking at it is that this is our intuition, and this is what we do. Why do I qualify this as a lie, though? Because it's not the best way to make your business decisions. So you can inform yourself. And this is one of the things that I do as a business coach, is helping my clients to make a decision. Here we have helping again, see it? So not only in sales, but helping them to make a decision. And what is a better way of making a decision then if it's not your intuition? Well, having an informed decision. And that is something else than just listening to your underbelly, because your underbelly is there, for example, to protect you from things going wrong. So it is looking maybe a bit too much at risks and maybe not not enough at possibilities. Here we are again with the abundance mindset. You know, if you listen to that gut feeling like, oh, I'm not capable of doing it, am I good enough, or is there even a market for it? That is because your intuition is telling you that maybe. So informed decisions, how can you do that? Well, maybe ask yourself some questions before you make the decision. Why do I want to do this? What is the desired outcome? What is the worst that could happen if I decide this? What if I is the worst that could happen if I decide the other thing? What is the best that could happen? So if you put that on paper, even because our thoughts are often fooling us, maybe that's going to help you make a better informed decision. And what I see happening the most, and what I don't like so much when I see that happening, is that many small entrepreneurs, because you don't have a lot of experience in business, you maybe have your first or your second business, they are taking decisions quickly that are hard to change. They are pivoting, they're saying, oh, this doesn't work, I should do something completely different. And I think that sometimes you only need to change a few things. And if you can have some people in your surrounding that have a good business acumen, that have some experience, they could maybe help you look at it from a different way. So it's not always necessary to make these big decisions. So those were the four truths and a lie. We're at about time. These are my is my main social, LinkedIn. When it comes to business coaching, you can find me there on LinkedIn. I would be happy to connect actually with a bunch of you. We already connected this week. So co-working Antalya, you can find it mostly on Instagram. If you want to join me there, it's an amazing spot to work from. And Antalya, believe me, it's a fantastic city with the sea and the mountains. And Nomads and Wonderlands, that is the new business that I've set up a couple of months ago. We're doing 1 month vacations. Actually, we started it in Antalya. We did the second edition with 40 people here in Bansko. Thank you for your attention.